Hello. So I just wanted to post an update on something that happened yesterday. I went to the memorial show at the Fate Club last night for DJ Ernie, and even though I didn't personally know him, I knew of him, and I have to say that I've been to a few wakes of this nature, and it's usually for people that were involved in music, and it's just one of the most beautiful experiences of seeing other people celebrate a person's life after their sudden death, and in a way it's so much more of a positive experience because it's uplifting, it's uplifting for everyone, but most importantly, because a lot of people I don't think about this, it's uplifting for the person who died, because, well, he was there, of course, because I could see him, but they were, at one point, they were doing this song that he loved, and releasing balloons, and everybody was cheering and toasting, and it was just, the room was so filled with love for this person that it's important for anyone who is dying, because this is their greatest fear in life, is that, as I've heard the grief walker say, quote, the most frightening thing to any human being on the planet is that when they die, those people that say they love them are not going to conduct themselves as if a part of them survives after death, and that they're going to be carried over. And that term carried over is because there's generally thought to be a 49-day period where your soul goes on a journey to the other side, basically. And the only way for you to make that journey successfully is by being carried by those that you loved and that loved you. And when you say carried, it's like it puts more wind in your sails when people that you were connected to in life are sending you love. It's giving you more wind in your sails to get through that 49-day journey to cross over, because no one can cross over alone. That's why people get stuck. People's essence basically gets stuck here in this plane if there's no one to conduct themselves as if there is a part of you that survives and is helping you cross over. This is why, this is a lot of people that commit suicide or that regret things about their life. They don't feel like they deserve that love, so they stay here. And I've had to help a lot of those people go. This is also the reason why when they say you can't cross the bridge alone, there has to be someone there to meet you. So if you're a person that does this crossing over kind of rituals for souls, you ask basically the other side for someone over there to come meet this person's soul at the bridge so that they can go over there with them. And even if you're a completely isolated individual in your entire life and no one ever loved you, you can still be met by your pets. And because we all know what animals are like, they're really good at giving that unconditional love that just permeates everything. They don't even think twice about it. And that's why it's really easy to feel that way about your beloved pets. And so that the part of that process of going over the bridge and being met, again, when you have all these people sending you this love, and you're just whoosh, you're going over super easy. And of course he was, because that's why he was smiling. He was so happy. It was like really easy for him to go over. And I just love the idea that I see that kind of attitude towards death happen way more frequently with musicians or people that are involved with music, because I've also heard a phrase that heaven is a melody. And so when you think of your favorite tune, that's like the feeling that gives you, that sort of uplifting, unconditional loving feeling. The way I initially when I was a kid, I would always feel that way when I played a piano. It was like, what? Pianos. This is the only time I ever, before I met Sadie, this is the only time I ever had that sort of like warm, just sparkly feeling, and being at band camp and playing a certain piece at band camp, which I'm sure is going to be my melody when I get to the bridge, you know? So I just wanted to say that, you know, keep that in mind, even if you're not into witchy woo stuff, you know, in the interest of the person that you love, send them love, yeah, when they die, so that it makes their journey easier across the bridge. And that, because when people do die or pets die and we're going through the grieving process, we have a long period of bargaining. You know, if I would have you know, bring them back, if only I would have been this way, or if I would have acted that way, or if I would have not done these things and did these things instead. While you are still with your pets or people, it helps to constantly remind yourself that, you know, one day you're going to be dead and they're going to be dead, and to just conduct yourself that way while you're living, because Ernie's memorial was such a great example of how to live your life. But by doing something that you love, which naturally surrounds you with people that you love, and then your just whole life is filled with much more love than if you're doing something you hate and you're surrounded by people you hate. Because, you know, it's not going to give you the same kind of end effect, like in totality. So it's just such a great example of how to live your life, that when you are done living, that many people and that much love fills a room. And it's a beautiful, beautiful fucking thing. And I mean, that's really all life is anyway. Sound, right? Light. And feelings are powerful enough to bend space and time, which is why it's really important to focus on your feelings and don't ignore any of them, even the ones that seem dark and horrible, because nobody and nothing likes to be ignored. And when it does get ignored, that's how it gets stuck. And so, in the interest of transmuting emotions and souls and feelings, just, you know, stay in the awareness of how you are going through your day-to-day life, and it'll make your death a lot easier. Okay. Or the loss of like others easier, because when Sadie was you know, when I thought she was dead, I was just flooded with all these memories of all the time that I spent with her present in the moment, and, you know, that she would kind of snap me out of being in shutdown mode, and I would just come back and be with her face to face, you know. And sometimes when I'm scrolling on my phone for too long and she gives me this look, I'm like, oh, now is the time to come back, be present with her, you know, because those were the only things that got me through that grief, was feeling like, well, at least I was there with her when we were together, instead of shut down and ignoring everything, you know, and not paying attention. So this is why I know it's very important to keep paying attention and be present with everything that you love in life, and it'll make death a lot easier. Thank you. Bye.